Well, straight into it, the new album, Perpetual Chaos, is out now. And I almost feel like it might sound insincere for me to say this, but it is an amazing album. It really is so good. And like, I've been a fan of Nervosa since your first UK gig. I did the first UK interview of Nervosa. So I got to see you supporting Brujeria and Cryptopsy in London. And I was hooked from then on. So, yeah, I mean, for such an exciting and challenging new chapter in Nervosa's career, I think it's one of the best albums you've done yet. And so,
Yes, and it's a long time ago. This it's almost 6 years.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
in our first tour in Europe.
that's right. Yeah, Kentish Town. No, not was it Kentish Town? Tufnell Park Dome. That's where it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was so amazing. And what's funny about that is that I thought that interview was kind of lost forever because my cousin filmed it and her laptop exploded. And
We remember.
yeah, and only 2 weeks ago, she says, "Guess what I found?" So,
Ooh.
but enough about the past. Let's talk about the now. Let's talk about Nervosa and Perpetual Chaos. I mean, it's interesting. It's a little bit more fresh, I think, this time around. I think Downfall of Mankind had veered more towards death metal. Um, was it intentional to go to more of a thrash metal direction?
Yeah, exactly. And the intention was bring the roots back, you know, because Nervosa in the beginning it was more trash, but of course with death metal there, I love death metal, but Nervosa is a thrash metal band, not a death metal.
Yeah.
And I really want to keep this stance, you know, from the beginning, because it's something that I always want, you know, for Nervosa. And of course, with Diva Satanica, the new vocalist, she bring more death metal because her voice is death metal. But this was the idea since of the beginning of the band. I were looking for a vocalist with the vocals like a diva, you know.
Yeah.
So now I have the dream team, and I'm, you know, super happy, and I think that everything, you know, could fit very well each of things and itself place, you know. And yeah, I think the equilibrium always is the best choice, you know.
Yeah.
I don't like to be 100% trash because I really like to bring in more influences from the music. Like on this new album example, we have influences from punk and
Yeah.
Time to Fight example,
And Rebel
and
Soul as well. That's quite punk.
yes, like
Yeah.
a Motorhead vibes, and I love these, you know. And the intention was not to create an album that you can say some definition, and each track is different from the others,
Yeah.
and diversity was the biggest idea for this album.
Yeah. Cool. I think you definitely accomplished that. And I think if there is something you can say about every track on the album is that every track is exciting.
Wow, that's so
Like I've listened to it just in like post office and things like that, and I'm just supposed to be posting a letter or something, but I'm too excited. I'm just moving around too much. It's
nice.
like, but of course, this is the first album with a new lineup, and it's an amazing lineup. And like you said, Diva Satanica's vocals are maybe a little bit more death metal than previous albums, and but not just that. You have Mira Wallace on bass, and she's just incredible bass player. You know, if you play with people like Abat and Tom Warrior, then you can't be bad. So when she was announced as part of the new lineup, I was like, well, this is going to be good. You know,
Yeah, I was super confirmed. You know, I couldn't believe it because I just sent message to her, but I was expecting that she will not answer, or answer that of course not, something like that. But no, she was super happy and she say yes, of course. And you know
Mm.
and I was super happy because I know how much heavy is Mia in her name, and
Yeah.
she did a very great job because she didn't follow me in every riffs, She
Mm.
created her own life in the music that could be more, I can say, less empathy,
Mm.
It's the sound of her bass, it's more bass,
Yeah.
so you can hear power there.
Absolutely, and that all comes together to create this like solid ball of energy. It's again on every track. So, and of course you have Eleni on drums as well, and she brought a lot to it. I was just watching the track by track video there where she was talking about breaking the drumstick on one of the tracks.
Oh
So
yeah.
that tells you everything you need to know, I think, about just how powerful she is behind the kit.
Exactly. And she's a monster. She's a monster completely.
Yeah. So, like you say, you called Mia to see if she'd be interested. Had you had any previous interactions with Mia or Diva or Elena before?
Uh, I let clear that I would like to keep the sense of Nervosa there, but
Hmm.
this is something for me, because normally I wrote many and a big part of the riffs for Nervosa,
Hmm.
so it will be something natural for me, and I really want to keep my sound on guitars because I think it's my signature. And but the rest, I was really interesting to have something new, because I think the band needed, you know, this kind of thing. So, and I really say for all of the girls, say for all the girls to be what they are,
Hmm.
So, and they understand this very easy. Diva sing it perfectly with her way, with her voice. She's not just pretending to copy someone or something like that. Not,
Hmm.
she's really what she is, And
Yeah.
Mia was, when I talked with her for the first time, we start to scream, like yeah, I can't believe it. And then she starts to say, I was thinking to bring a real bass for Nervosa, and I say yes, it's exactly what I want to listen, and we were screaming like a party in a
Yeah.
video call. It was with Mia and Eleni. She's awesome, and she it's able to play everything that you asked for her,
Yeah.
everything, you know. And she's very uh, one of the biggest musicians that I know in my life, maybe the biggest one. When she arrived on studio, our producer and me, when she started to play without any rehearsal because she was blocked in her house because of the quarantine.
Yeah.
So everything that she studied was in air drums. So she seated on the drum and she killed the drummer, the drums,
Yeah.
She killed the drums. And me and Martin Fury, we were this way. We look at each other like, I can't believe, you know. And then she starts to write the the partiture,
Mhm. Yeah.
because there are some details our producer asked. Oh, can you change this feel and to start with the drums, but in a twisted way? We asked for many changes, and she said to just write it on her page like,
Yeah.
yes, I can do it. And she were there and did like 10 years that she were playing this,
Wow.
She said, yes, it was incredible, incredible.
Yeah.
I never did anything in my life like this.
Yeah.
And she created a really good uh, drums for every song. Of course, our producer helped it with some stuff and some details. but she's awesome
Yeah,
creating lane.
cool. And something I really like as well about this new lineup is that obviously you are all tremendous musicians, but when you look at like the pictures and the videos you were posting throughout the recording process, it seems that you all get along really well as well. It seems like you're a real unit, you know. And I think a lot of bands miss that, you know. It does seem like you are all friends and you are all as one, you know. And that probably helps the band as well.
Yes, it was what I was missing in Nervosa before, you know. With
Okay.
the years, we will be far from each other
Mm.
because we had a lot of differences between of us. Differences, what we want for the band, what we want for the life, what the way to work, you know, and
Mm.
many things. We just had differences.
Okay.
Anything was something that we really agree, you know.
Mm.
So this was very difficult, and this make us to be more far from each other.
Yeah.
And this new lineup, I like this very clear, and I was looking for a girls that think, that expect, then want the same things of me. This
Mm.
way, there is no mistake. So now, for the first time in Rosa, I feel that I have a really family. You know, we are
Mm.
very strong together, and we really respect each other,
Mm.
and we create a really good relationship, friendship there. You know,
Mm.
and for me, this is everything,
Mm.
because of course the band, I put too much things in a band, but for me, the most important thing is the friendship. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
without the things, there is no make sense, and
Mm.
then the band will break again. So
Yeah.
we are lucky, you know, because we are having a chance to be on the road, to meet a lot of bands that teach us how to play, how to be metal, you know,
Mm.
and we have the opportunity to make a friends around the world. So for me, I'm happy all the time, because
Good.
I'm really lucky person with this,
Mm.
you know. So, and I just wanted to enjoy, you know, just
Yeah.
enjoy. For me, it doesn't matter if it's small band or big band. For me, the most important thing is have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I did wonder. You mentioned like a distance between each other there, and I wondered if a physical difference played a role as well. Because I don't know if you remember, we were talking backstage at an Overkill show a few years ago in London with Overkill Destruction, Flotsam and Jetsam, and you were telling me then that Fernanda and Luana had a lot of trouble getting into Europe because they looked more South American than you do because you've got blonde hair. Your words, not mine. So I did wonder if that kind of played a role in the lineup change. Um, and of course, as well, now it's interesting because you're all from different countries. In Nervosa now you have Spain and Greece. And I think, is Mia from Italy or is she from Switzerland?
And me from Italy.
Italy, okay, yeah. So it's interesting now because it is that. It's funny, you know, like we talk about metal uniting people from all over the world, and Nervosa now is a real case of that. You know, when you have Brazil, Italy, Greece, and Spain represented in the thing. Do you think that adds something extra to Nervosa now?
Yes, and I consider Nervosa is still Brazilian band, but
Mm.
of course, multi-country band, European band,
Yeah.
and because you know Brazil, it's made by a lot of immigrants, mainly from Spain and Italy, and in Portugal, of course. But we have a big immigration of Greek, you know, in Brazil as well.
Okay.
And example, we are the second country in the world that most have the German immigrants.
Wow.
So there's some there are some cities in the south of Brazil. The official language it's German, you know, it's Dutch. So, and Brazil, it's this way. It's a mix of the world. We are a new country. We have just 500 years. You
Mm,
know, we are a very young country.
mm,
So that's why I consider that that Nervosa is still a Brazilian band. Of course, because Nervosa born and you know grow in Brazil, and all the our history started in Brazil, and I'm a Brazilian, so I think the connection with Brazil it's not missed. We are still Brazilian band,
yeah,
but also the good thing is also we are a European band, multi-country band, a Spanish band, Italian band, and Greek band. So for me, this is wonderful, you know, because
yeah,
I think it means freedom, and I like that, you know,
mm,
and I really like that, and of course contribute a lot for the band because each of the girls has a different experience in life, you
mm,
know. Each of us suffer different stuff, have different opinion, you know. It's a different experience, different ages, and I think this is make more rich the band.
absolutely. I mean, every one of those countries has their own kind of unique metal sound. I've always thought Brazil's metal is a bit more dirty, if you like, you know, like Sepultura and Clausus and Sarcophago and so on and so forth. They're completely different bands, but they all have this kind of street vibe to it. You know what I mean? Not like quite punk, but you know, a bit more real. And Greece has always had like a traditional heavy metal, but they've also been really good at extreme metal over the years as well, like Rotten Christ, and Nightfall, and bands like that. You know, and so you combine all this, and it creates something quite new in a way. Even though this album is very much a Nervosa album, it's almost like a new style of thrash metal in a way. I think.
Yes, I love thrash metal.
Yeah.
The meaning idea of Nervosa is to be a thrash metal band, and of course, for me, it's very good to have influences from other style to make the thrash richer. You know,
Mm,
so I think this is very important. Be open for new stuff, but keep the classical there.
absolutely. Yeah. Um, I think a lot of people would wonder once the announcement was made that Nervosa was two members had left. You know, were you scared at any point about the future of the band, or had you already got the new lineup in place at that point?
I was not scared, you know, because I really were unhappy with many things.
Okay.
And for me to have opportunity to restart the band in the right way, and it was a big opportunity for me, you know. I
Mm,
really expect the old girls and all the lineups in Nervosa,
yeah.
but we are talking about differences, you know,
Mm,
and I think have opportunity to make the things different, like I told, and to choose the right people to be beside of me was the best thing, not just for me, but for the other girls that left also. You
mm,
know, they are in a place that they wanted. I am in a place that I really wanted. So I think it was something very good for the metal scene as well. Now we have two female bands,
yeah.
and we are just multiply, you know. This
Yeah.
is good anyway.
It's a little bit like Sepultura and Soulfly in a way. You know, you had one great band, and obviously Crypt haven't released their album yet, but from what I've heard, it sounds very good. So now you've got two great bands, so everybody wins in a way. And also, the most important thing is that you're all happy. So who
Exactly,
can complain at that?
exactly. And you know, I'm with a person that think and wanted the same of me, and they are too. So everything is alright. It's alright.
Hmm, cool. Obviously, you've done two music videos so far for this. You did "Guided by Evil" was the first one, which was very eye-catching, very vibrant. Um, Reminded me a little bit of that movie Mandy that came out a few years ago. I don't know if you saw that, but it's very colourful and grisly. So I think in a way, Guided by Evil was probably the perfect choice as a lead single.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it looked like you had a lot of fun making that video as well. Did you have any trouble filming the video due to like COVID restrictions or anything like that?
uh, because we were in an isolated place in the top of the mountains in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and we recorded um, in the same place of the studio. It was a corner, something like that, and we recorded during the night, and it was a very fun moment because we were recording, and this day Diva recorded just one song, and then we start to work with the video clip because we took some promo photos example as well. And yes, it was the first time that we hold our instruments together, and we
Wow.
play it together. So everyone that were there was this way, wow, you look so perfect all together. It was the first time to see us like on stage, but was not stage, but
Yeah.
the view that we with the amplifiers and instruments.
Mm.
And yeah, it was magical, I would
Yeah.
say. And we didn't have any problems with the police or anything because it was open air. We
Yeah.
were with social distance, take caring about everything.
Mhm.
And on this moment, it was in summer, and everything was more uh, flexible on this season as well.
Cool. I think it shows as well, when that video premiered, and me personally, when I watched it, I was like, okay, that's Nervosa. It's not like when some bands have like new members or new lineup, and you kind of go, I don't know about that one. But with this, it's just like, there you go, they work. So,
Yes, I'm so happy because the girls deserve it.
yeah. And as for the album itself, like I've said, it is amazing. Rebel Soul and Time to Fight are my favorites, but there isn't one song I don't dislike. So, and I mentioned Rebel Soul there, and also earlier I mentioned Flotsam and Jetsam. Of course, you have Erik AK on Rebel Soul and Schmier on. Oh, it's right in front of my head. Really good song. Can't remember it.
Until the very end with Guilherme.
Sorry.
Until the very end with Guilherme Miranda from Entombed.
That's right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah. I was just trying to remember the name of the song Schmier's on. And again, it's a really good song.
I recommend.
Yeah. Do you know what I really like about that song is how, like, as fierce as Schmier's vocals are, and they always are, I think Diva outshines him, which is not to disrespect Schmier, but you hear like Schmier's vocals come through, and then Diva just crushes him in a way because, like, her voice is even deeper.
Yeah, I like the composition also. And
Yeah.
when I wrote this song, I just put the play there and I was listening. I was, wow, this is so much destruction. you know, it's not like any song of then, but remember destruction 100%. And I was listening to me singing there. I was listening, and
Yeah.
I called to him and I say, "You have to do a participation on this song." And he said, "Yes, of course," because he always supported Nervosa, mainly for now for the new lineup, and I consider him a big friend of mine, and I'm
Yeah.
super honored to have this opportunity as well.
Yeah. Schmier definitely seems to have his finger on the pulse of modern metal. As like you say, he's supported you. He's been a big proponent of Burning Witches as well, which is an awesome band from Switzerland. So
Oh, Bernie Wishes.
yeah, so he really seems to know what's going on with metal and this kind of thing as well, and he knows talent when he hears it. So yeah, it all comes together, and like you say, it's great because it's kind of reminiscent of Destruction, that song, but but it's not a destruction song. So to have Schmier do something different on Nervosa it's all part and parcel of what makes it such a great album.
Yes, yes. I'm so all participation on this album because all of them are super close to me, super friend of me, and I always admire them. And it's awesome to have Schmier on this album because I learned with Destruction how to play. It
Mhm.
one of my biggest influences. So it's a dream come true, I would
Yeah,
say.
cool. Speaking of guests, Guilherme that was on one of the other tracks. I was just reading up very recently that you started a project last year with him and João Gordo from Ratos de Poró with Revolta. Um, now this is the first I've heard about it was this week. So how how serious is this project? Are you hoping to record an EP or album or something like that in the future?
Uh, no, we don't have any plans for a while, and this was a project that we felt necessary in last year because we were having many political problems in Brazil about the COVID. You know, it's very hard for me to talk about it because it's a shame. But our president was denying the COVID situation, and many people is dying and were
Yeah,
dying because of his behavior, saying that it's not necessary wear the mask and everyone can work normally and back to the normal life. There is nothing happening. This is a really, you know, uh,
it's
it's
deadly. You know.
horrible to say, yeah, but this is a genocidal, behavior.
Yeah,
He was not worried. And yeah, he's suffering the consequences now because they are doing some movements for impeachment because he was completely unresponsible, and he contributed for many deaths.
yeah,
So yeah, let's see what's happened. But that moment we felt that were necessary to get the mainly members for the more active bands in Brazil,
hmm,
you know, just to fight against these, protest against this. That's
yeah,
why we united to create just one song. And I recorded the vocals there in Malaga. And yeah, this was very necessary. We really want to do more, but it's so much different bands in one
yeah,
band, and our calendar always is full. It's hard to combine everything.
yeah.
But yeah, let's see what we can do for next. I'm sure that will not be just one song.
Good. I hope so because that lineup is incredible. So there's too good a lineup to ignore. You know. And
Yeah.
like Ratos de Paroa, obviously are very well known in Brazil. In the UK, not so much. Like to see Ratos de Paroa, I had to go to Spain to watch them, but worth it.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah. So just finally, then, obviously, like we say, the pandemic has taken an effect on the music industry as well as the whole world, obviously. Um, but what plans do you have for this album so far? Have you thought about like a live stream show or anything like that?
Uh, so live streams for a while. It's not make part of our plan,
Okay.
but um, we are planning to have some rehearsal to be together a little bit, and yeah, you
Mm,
know, and waiting for the opportunity to have the opportunity to play in live shows. We have some
yeah.
shows booked in on summer, example,
Uh-huh.
in Europe. I mean, festivals, but we still have no idea if it would happen. But we will be ready for this. You know,
Mm,
we are ready because we can't wait anymore.
yeah.
And yeah, we have the intention to do many things, but just waiting for what we can do and when.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of a trait of metal fans is that metal fans are a little bit impatient, and they always want, every time you say, you know, like, oh, here's a new video, they go, when's the next album? When's the next tour? When's this? So to have a new lineup as well as a new album as well, and everybody wants to see this new lineup. It's like, that's the main reason I want COVID to piss off, is I just want to see Nervosa again.
Yes, I love this expectation that everyone has, and this big part of our expectation. So, because we can't wait to be on stage for the first time together. We really want to rehearsal. We're already rehearsing in September in Italy when we recorded the video clip for and to Under Ruins. And yeah, but we want more. We want to be on tour together and have fun every day.
Yeah, cool. Prika, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. I really do appreciate it. And once
Yeah.
again, congratulations on the new album. I know it's only the beginning of the year, but it's my favorite release so far. And it's going to take something special to be better than that. So congratulations.
Thank you so much for this. Your words support Nervosa a lot, and for us, it's very important. And I really hope to see you in person again, you know, meet on shows and have fun. So thank you so much.
Anytime. Thank you so much. Muito obrigado.
Yeah. Ah, that's so cool.
That's all I know.
But it's nice.